Hey everybody. So today I'm going to talk about bus processing and what you should submit to your mastering engineer once you're done with your mix. And this is a question that I get asked almost on a daily basis in terms of, should I remove my bus processing altogether? Should I just change the threshold and give my mastering engineer maybe another dB or two of headroom to work with? There is a lot of answers to this. This is a topic of great confusion to many. So today I'm going to try to bring some clarity because it's not a one-size-fits-all type of solution actually. It has everything to do with how you mixed as a mixing engineer. So I'm going to break it down into a few different scenarios, a few different categories, and we can figure out where you fit in and hopefully give you guys some extra things to think about and some solutions to your workflow. So there are people that mix through no bus processing at all. There are people that mix through just a little bit. There are people that mix through a whole lot. What's most important is you understand that as you're mixing, that's what your mix is. So it's important to differentiate, is this bus processing part of your mix balance decisions, or is it something that has nothing to do with your mix balance decisions and it's only to get it up to level for your artist's approval? Because let's face it, your artist has only been listening to stuff that's been out in the world, done and mastered, not pre-mastering. So their only reference point is stuff that's done. So for a great many of you, mixing engineers, you're now in a position where you have to, a lot of times, submit something that feels almost done, maybe going through a temporary mastering process to begin with. And here's another slight gray area between the two. Maybe you slap it on 80% of the way through and you're beginning to mix into it a little bit. That is important to understand because if you then remove that process, it could create some levels of musical disconnect. So, scenario one, maybe you don't mix through any bus processing or just a little, and you want to slap on something in addition once you're already done your mix balances just to get your artist's approval. This is a very simple scenario because if you just remove that process before mastering, you're back to square one, you're back to where you mixed it as a mixing engineer, and to the mastering we can get both files, the one that is your real mix and the one that is only as reference that your artist has been listening to. Not for us as mastering engineers to match, but just as added information so we have an understanding of what they're listening to, what they've approved, so then we can take it further. And it's easy to do because we have your real mix. We have the mix that you've done as an engineer, and musically everything's intact. The scenario that I talked about a little earlier, let's say you're mixing, and then about 80% of the way through, you've slapped this process on, right? Just because you want your artist to have something done that kind of feels right. Taking that process off can be dangerous because you're mixing into it now. Your balances can get skewed, relationships between maybe vocal and clap or snare, they can be altered, certainly with stuff that has hard transients. These things can definitely change if you take dynamic processing off. So it's something to be aware of and communicate to your mastering engineer exactly what you did. Another scenario is maybe you're a mixing engineer that just loves mixing into a lot of bus processing, or just bus processing that is almost at a place that it maybe feels already mastered. Now this is important to keep that on just as you had it, or if you want to send a second option in with maybe a dB less threshold, to send two options. One, the mix just as you heard it. This is very important for a mastering engineer to have, and also a second version with a little bit more headroom. Sometimes that actually does help a mastering engineer, but it always does introduce a little bit of musical disconnect because you're submitting something that isn't quite what you did as a mixing engineer. So just be aware of that. It really comes down to what did you do when you're in your mix zone, and what are you submitting, and is it different than what you did when you were mixing? Please let me know if you have any questions. Leave it in the comments. I'll try to include myself and answer anything. Hope to see you guys on the next one.
Hey, what about this button? Or the subscribe button.